Hi again, YouTubers. So this is my, all right, let's think about this again. May and June face of the month, kind of what I've been wearing and grabbing for the most of this month. I've been doing a little bit more eyeliner, a little bit more of a pink lip, and kind of well, my eyes are always neutral for the most part. I just change slight things. So, and the other key things is a lot of people have been asking me how I apply the Chanel Matte Lumiere and the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. I show that in this video. I do them both exactly the same. I use them the same way. So I hope you guys enjoy this and keep watching. All right, so let's get started. The first thing is I have not been using a primer at all. People ask me quite frequently if I do use primers, and sorry, I'm just getting stuff out. And anymore, I have not been using primers. I've kind of been going back to the theory of less is more. I just tone and moisturize right now, sometimes use a serum, but for the most part, I have not been using a primer, and it's been working out better for my skin. I feel like too many products, and I kind of watch this whole thing by Goss makeup artist, just that sometimes, you know, you're continually putting all these products on, it's making things better or worse. The first thing I've been using lately is the Bobbi Brown Creamy Concealer. I have this in the color Bisque, and this is the corrector, I'm sorry, not the concealer. And I've been putting this on just where the darkness is under my eyes. Not anywhere like up under the eye, just where the darkness is, and I just pat it in. So I put it on with, let me tell you what this brush is in a second, just anywhere that the darkness hits. This is the Sigma, it's the old SS 194. I don't think I have the new one. This is what it looks like. So I put a little bit of that on. Then I have been using one of two foundations, either the Chanel Matte Lumiere or the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet today. You do have to shake it up really well. This is in the color 40. So you shake it up, and it does have a little pore spout. I put some onto my fingers, about that much, and that's going to do my whole face. I kind of just rub it in, and then I tap it on my face, and then I kind of just rub it around. People have been asking me how I apply this. It's pretty simple. I don't do a whole lot with it. I actually need just a little bit more. So about half of what I just put on is what I'm gonna, on my fingers before, is what I'm gonna put on now. I just feel like I need a little bit more coverage. Bring it down over my jawline. Wrap my nose. Pretty simplistic. Then I take my beauty blender, and see, I don't have everything out, so, and I take some Fix Plus if I haven't already wet it, and I dampen the sponge just so it has a little bit of dampness to it. And then I go around areas that tend to have creases and things like that. I have a piece of hair hanging out, and then just along anywhere that I feel like might crease or needs to be blended in and out, which is like around my hairline and things like that. So put that away. But sometimes if I remember, I dampen this ahead of time. Sometimes I don't. It really just depends. So, and this top for some reason on this one is not sealing. I don't have a clue. So that's that. Then I have been taking the Lancome waterproof under eye concealer. This is what it looks like, and I just take, again, very little bit, and I just tap that on, because the other one is a corrector. It is not a concealer. It just color corrects under your eyes. So then I tap this on. Pretty easy as far as that. I've been using one of two powders. I've either been using, the one I've been using the most right now is from It Cosmetics, and it's called Bye Bye Pores. And it's a translucent powder. I only took half this, or well, a little bit more than half of the sticker off of it, and I keep the little powder puff in it so a bunch doesn't fall out. But what I do use is a just I don't know what these are even called, just a big powder puff, and it's from MAC. I tap a little bit into the lid, and then I get it on the, can you hear Diesel? On the sponge, and I roll it. And I do this in areas where I have pores around that are noticeable and or shine. Okay, which for me is my chin, my nose, and my forehead. The rest of this, I don't need powder on it. It doesn't. Diesel, what's wrong, buddy? I think he wants to go out and play. And you just want to tap this in and pat it in, because if you wipe it on, you're gonna wipe some of your foundation off. So that's that one. And then I have been using this is my favorite, like I could get rid of every other powder bronzer I own, and it is the Too Faced Chocolate Bronzer, Chocolate Soleil. This is what it looks like. I already went through one entire one. This is a new one. This just, I don't know what it is. It just works great. It's matte. I don't use any with shimmer to them. And this one is just awesome. I use my large powder brush, my F20 from Sigma. It's a nice flat powder brush. And I simply just work it in on both sides of the brush, tap it off, and then I start where my cheekbones are, under like the hollows of your cheekbone. Same thing on the other side. Work it up along my forehead. And then I tend to blend this down on my neck a little bit more than usual, just because I want to make sure, especially since I do sunless tanners, I want to make sure it evens everything out. And just where the sun would naturally hit you. But that's about it for the bronzer. Blush, oh, sorry. Blushes, I've been doing one of two things. I've either been using NARS Orgasm, or I have been using the Tarte Adorned, but then, where is it? And then, oh, here it is. And then on my apples, I've been putting the NARS Outlaw. So I'll do the two today just to show you, because you know what it looks like to put one on. And, where is it? Wrong brush. I use my Sigma Large Angled Contour F40, and I just tap it into this. Now this has a lot of shimmer to it and a lot of fallout, so I tap it in here and then I tap it on this. But then I just put it like a little bit where my highlight would go normally. And it gives a nice little sheen. But then with this one, I don't know, I feel like I need just that little bit extra pop of color closer to the apples. So I take Outlaw, which is a more plummy color. I do the same thing. I tap it in, then I tap it off on the mirror. And I just go right over the apples and just a little bit blend it out. And then I take a little bit up on my forehead. So I am going to go on to my eyes next, and I'm going to try zooming in on that. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so we're gonna give this a try. I tried this once and the camera wasn't actually on. So I'm gonna tell you the two things I did. Pretty simple. One of the first things I do when I start with my eyes is I use eyeshadow primer. This one is Urban Decay's Primer Potion. Love that this is now in a tube, but hate this tube. It's impossible to squeeze stuff out of. And then I also filled in my brows with my Lancome powder pencil for the brows in the color taupe. Hopefully this is showing up. It's hard to see. I fill them in, and actually I see a little spot there that's still sparse. And then at the other end has a brush. I brush through them to blend it all in. So the next thing I have been taking is a color by Bare Minerals called Bare Skin. This is what the packaging looks like. This is, there we go. Probably do it like this, sorry. And it's kind of a light pinkish tone. And I take my, where'd it go? Oops, here it is. Sigma E55 eye shading brush. Probably again, sorry, I'm looking behind me just to see. And I tap a little bit of that into the lid, and then I tap it off, and I have been putting this just on my lid and a little bit up to my crease. And I just tap this on. Again, this does not require a lot or take a lot. It just kind of has, and it's got a light pink tone to it. When I originally got it, I thought it was going to be more of like a peachy tone because it kind of looks like that in the container, but it definitely, when you put it on, has more of a, brain can't think, more of a pinky tone to it. So then the next color I have been taking, where is it? Here we go. And I use my Sigma E25 blending brush. Again, hopefully these things are showing up. And I have been using the color Woodwinked, which is right there. And I just tap a little bit into the brush, tap it off, and I have been putting this on my crease, and I just windshield wiper motion up into the crease. And I kind of bring it up a little bit further than I would some other colors, because this one actually has a nice golden tone to it, and it's just almost a step darker than the bare skin, so it definitely shows some definition between the two colors. And again, I just kind of blend out until I feel like it's the look that I was going for. Then I kind of wipe that brush off just a little bit on my lap, and I take this color, and this is, I think it's bronze. Let me pull it out. Hold on a sec. Oh, of course I can't get it out. This is bronze, and it's a little bit darker. Take the same brush, tap it in the edge just a very little bit, and I just put it at the corner of my eyes just to give it a little bit more definition in that corner there. And I don't really blend it out too much. I'm just like placing it where I want it. Just that little bit there. I then take, I got this at an arts and crafts store. It's a Lou Cornell 270 Maxi Mop, and it's a 1/4 inch. Tiny, tiny little brush, but I love this for under my eyes, and I use the same bronze color. Get a little bit on the edge, and I just kind of go under my eyes. I will say this, is you have to put a little bit more on this brush than you would a normal brush. It just doesn't adhere to the brush very well. And I bring it almost all the way in. And I just kind of make sure that outer corner is the way I want it to look. This can touch up any areas like that as well. Then, oops, I go back to my same E55 brush, and I take a light color. I usually use Grain, which is the one that's, whoops, almost gone right here, or this one down here, which is, I think it's Naked Lunch. It is. I'm going to use Naked Lunch today, and I just take a little bit on that same brush, and I'm just putting it up on my brow bone, right through there. That's it. I then sometimes take a little bit on the inner corner just to brighten that area up as well. Depends on what I'm doing. Oops. I think I can fit that over there. Next thing I go to, where is it, is eyeliner, and I use the Milani Liquify. This is the color black. The tips are a different color. There's a brown one and a black one, just so you can see. And I take this, and this one needs to be sharpened. And I simply put this on my waterline. This is like the best pencil for waterline. It stays on me like every other pencil is gone. This one stays amazing on me. And I know everyone's eyes are different, but a lot of people have said that they too like this and that it works really well and it stays really well on them. And it's so soft and so pigmented. Every once in a while I'll take that little Lou Cornell brush and I'll just smudge it in a little bit, just to kind of blend them together. This is only when I'm lining my eyes all the way. Then I tend to take my, you know what, I'm not gonna, I do two things, okay? I do one of two. I either use my Laura Mercier or I use my L'Oreal Carbon Black Liner Intense. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier today. And I take this with a flat brush. This is a Sigma Flat Definer Brush E15. And I take a little bit, I have just a water squirt bottle. Squirt a little bit into there and just dampen the top of the brush. Then I simply just, see, I can't even tell if I can see it, but work it into the edge of that brush until this has enough product on it. And I just really get a tight line, This is not tight lining, but I get a really tight line up against my lashes, and it's just gonna make my lashes look thicker. And I just kind of tap it on until I get it to how I want it. Sometimes I bring it down just a little bit to kind of even things out. But that part's pretty easy. And then I go on to mascara. And I have gone back to loving my Lancome Hypnose mascara. And I simply just hold my lashes. I usually count to like 15. And then I just squeeze it like 3 or 4 times. And then I release it. And then I just take the mascara and I work it in. I hope this is staying in the shot, and I'm going to apologize if it isn't. And I just work it down at the base of my lashes, and then I like wiggle it up a little bit. But this has been doing a great job with my lashes. Again, I am so funny with mascaras. I don't like them when they first start out. It's almost like they have to dry out a little bit before I like them. So that's one. Then the other eye, same thing. I just hold, and hopefully you can see this. I just hold this for about 10-15 seconds. I don't really count to be exact. And just pump it a couple times. And as I've said before, this eye is so much more difficult for me. It does not curl up the same way. It doesn't like mascara doesn't go on it the same way. It takes a lot more work for some reason. And I know we all make faces when we do mascara. It's just part of how we get it on correctly, or how it works for us. And I don't like a lot of clumps, so I kind of keep going over it too until I've gotten rid of most of those clumps. And then I go back to the first eye and just do the bottom lashes. And the next set. This one I just tend to go back to a couple different times because of the way that reacts with the mascara and how it doesn't sit right. So I'm gonna go back and do my lips that aren't so close. All right, so on to my lips. I have been using, where is it? Let me see if I can find it. For some reason, I have gone back to my NYX Mauve Lip Liner. I love this color. Just something about this color just works really well for me. And then let's use this. Whoops, dropping things. All right, I am going to use this Buxom Big and Healthy Rouge lipstick. This is in the color San Francisco. I've been using these a lot right now because they're quick and easy. You don't need to use a liner with these. I just like to. And the lip gloss I have been using all the time, and I like this. It was limited edition. It is creme anglaise, and it was a cream sheen glass. Diesel's outside. He doesn't like the trash man. So, oops. Wrong spot. So that's my look. I've got to do my hair. You'll see my hair at the beginning. But that's my look that I've been doing pretty much every day for the month of, let's see here, that would be May and June. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.